Today on the channel, Variance is the name of the game, and today, Classic Superstars Series 15 unboxing and review of Shawn Michaels, Tank Abbott, and Zeus.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Jax Class Superstars Series 15 unboxing and review. And today we're talking a lot about variants in Series 15, but today we're unboxing Shawn Michaels, Tank Abbott, and Zeus. But remember, for all your modern day wrestling figure needs, to hit up Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. So without further ado, let's dive into this, and let's do this kind of like all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging on all these. We're going to unbox one of these, but the other ones I already have, and then we're going to talk about them. So let's kick it off. Let's start with an all-time favorite of mine, Tank Abbott. Now, a lot of people hate Tank Abbott. A lot of people hate Tank Abbott's inclusion in the Classic Superstars line because, let's be honest, in the wrestling headspace, definitely not a Classic Superstar. Of course, he had his little run in WCW, not really the most memorable, but for somebody like me of my age bracket, we remember Tank Abbott as the anything goes barroom fighter in the old UFC days. Back when the UFC was different styles, things like that, Tank was just a big guy you'd see like at a bar that had a punch that you couldn't believe, and he always had an exciting fight. I'll never forget the time he tried to throw the guy over the cage in the UFC. Tank was something special, and I loved Tank. I loved all of his fights back in the day. I loved it when he crossed over into wrestling. I wish he would have had a little better run there, of course, but it is what it is. So for me, I like this inclusion here, but I can see 99% of the rest of the world not being a fan of this because who would you rather have, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or Tank Abbott? I think Ricky Steamboat's going to win out on that. But I'm just happy we got a Tank Abbott figure. Of course, we did get a UFC toy line from Jax as well. And some people did smoke and mirrors and put this in with those Jax figures in the UFC brand. So there was a little bit of redeeming qualities to this Tank for sure. But let's take a look at Tank here. And first off, I guess I'll grab this and we'll talk about this to begin with. It's all about variants with these guys in Series 15. I don't know what happened in Jax. I guess the different production runs, they said, let's just change it up a little bit. But we do get two different Tank Abbott figures. However, they are identical figures. It is the accessories that are different. This one comes with just a steel chair. This one comes with a steel chair and an Olympic barbell set. So I guess if you had to choose between the two, you'd probably choose the one with more bang for your buck with the extra accessory. There's not a whole lot of difference there. It is cool. There is, I believe this one is a little bit rarer with the weight belt. That being said, it doesn't really fluctuate the value that much. That's where rarity doesn't always equal big money. So we'll say that there. But there is the variant on that Tank, so I wanted to make sure we showed that off. And then we got Tank in here, just the plain Jane Tank. Looking pretty good. On the side, Tank Abbott. On that side, a little glamour shot. Got the big old goatee going on. In the back, we got the Cross-Sell Series 15. We're unboxing them on the channel. Make sure you subscribe. UPCs, warnings, that fun stuff. We got the blurb. We got the tail of the tape. We got Tank Abbott up top. Looking only like Tank Abbott could look in the Jax Class Superstars line. Without further ado, let's see what it says about Tank Abbott. Debuted 1995. Once again, a little fuzzy on that one. Not sure if that is the case. Weight 250 pounds. Height 6 feet tall. Finishing move, the knockout punch. That does work. And Tank, though, however, as much as he's a barroom fighter and things, he also was a wrestler, maybe even collegiate level, at least high school. But he was a good wrestler back in the day that helped him. So he knew a little bit to be dangerous on the mat from time to time. Didn't go there a whole lot in his matches, though, as we know. But I'm going to put Tank off to the side there. He's off to the races, and we're going to pull this out. Of course, I do have the accessories. We got the weight belt, a nice weight belt, a nice sturdy bar here. Got the black plates. You can take the plates off if you need to. A pretty good accessory, actually, as far as Jax go. It doesn't feel as cheap as some of the other accessories, so we do have that. And then the steel chair. What's there to say about steel chair? We've talked about them a million times in all varieties of color. But then we get Tank out of the package, and it was great to have Ken Shamrock in this line as well. So you could have Tank and Ken square off if you need to. Two UFC legends as well, if you need to have them square off. But all day long, maybe it's because I'm a Tank fan, I know this is Tank Abbott when I see this. I see the beard, I see the buzzed hair, I see the face. I know this is Tank Abbott. So as far as my money goes, they nailed this one. They made it perfect. He does have the UFC style glove we saw with The Undertaker. Ken Shamrock, for example, had to have those. He does got painted on chest hair. Oh, if we could have got the real fur, it would have been something else. He does got the MMA style black tights going on, and then shoes with the white socks. Very Tank Abbott once again. Nice attention to detail with some tattoos on the back of his calves. That's what he did have, so that is nice attention to detail there. Articulation-wise on this guy, of course, the arms go all the way around. You do got a bicep cut. You got single jointed elbows, wrist back and forth, side to side, head side to side, waist side to side. A little bit of splits, forward up, forward down, single knees, and ankles up and down. So that's the articulation for all these guys. So we walked through that. But all in all, this was one I was very happy with. And like I said, I can understand a lot of people not liking this. I totally get the reasons why. But for somebody like me, this was cool for me. I'm happy to have this all these years later. Happy to have the variants. Happy to have all this Tank in my collection. Give me a Tank Mattel. I'm okay with it. I'll take it all day long. But let's move our attention over to Zeus. Now, Zeus is an interesting one. Predominantly over the years, this has been a very rare figure, a very hard to find figure. A lot of people chopping this figure up for Mattel Elite Customs. Well, those days have gone. As we do know, San Diego Comic-Con 2022, we got an Ultimate Edition Zeus as the exclusive. Took a little bit of the shine off of this guy, because this was the only Zeus figure for many, many years, of course. But this still looks cool. This still has some things that is redeeming about it. It is still cool. He belongs in the Jakks Class Superstars line as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, no 5-star matches with him. Not a long wrestling career, but he definitely made an impact and is definitely well known, especially of 80s wrestling fans of the WWF. So I do feel he warranted a spot in the Jakks Class Superstars line. But there's old Zeus there, looking only like a Zeus could look in the Classic Superstars line. Big, mad face, got the Z painted in on the side of his head, or the hair grown in there, whatever it is. Looks really good there. And Zeus on the side. And the back of the package here, we got the cross-sell, UPCs, warnings, tail of the tape, the blurb, and the glamour shot. Zeus looking menacing up there, just looking off to the side. See what it says about Zeus. Debuted 1989, 275 pounds, height 6'5", finishing move, the bear hug. He kept it simple because he had to. And of course, much like Tank Abbott, we got a variant edition of Zeus here. Once again, pretty much equal value for the most part on these two. But you got Zeus, you got one with the steel chain, you got one with the steel chain and bonus pipe. Oh yes, he's laying the pipe. Zeus, a famous pipe layer from what I'm told. But yeah, he does have a pipe with him, and he does have his chain. So Zeus looking good in Series 15. And once again, I don't think the value is really matters between the two. I think it's pretty much is what it is. But through the power of YouTube, going to put him off to the side. Put Zeus there, and we got a Zeus ready to go, and his accessories as well. We do get the pipe, the old decrepit pipe, but as I said, Zeus loved laying the pipe, so there you go. But very old-looking pipe, just one of those kind of dumb Jakks accessories we got over the years. Now, this chain is much better. Could be a little bit longer, but of course, Zeus had chains in the movie. This is one of the things that was missing from the Ultimate Edition. It would have been nice if he would have had a chain with him. Unfortunately, he did not, but I do like this accessory here for Jakks. And then you get down to Zeus, and you get down to business with old Zeus, a very, very good one. Zeus down the side of the legs, black tights with the silver. All day long, you know this is Zeus, especially with the Z on the side of his head. How do you not know it's Zeus with that? Looks really good. He's got the kind of mad grin there. They even got his unibrow across his head, which always looks good. He does have two black elbow pads. He just got a gripping hand and a fisted hand. Zeus has got to have a fisting hand. That makes sense. He's a tremendous fister as well. He lays a lot of pipe and fists a lot of people. That's what Zeus does. I'm telling you, he does. But very, very cool one right here. Looks really nice. Looks good. It's a big, imposing figure in the Classic Superstars line. But like I said, unfortunately, a little bit of the love and shininess of this one is worn off with the Mattel Ultimate Edition being the new shiny Zeus action figure out on the playground right now. But Tank Abbott and Zeus, now we turn our attention to a more traditional style wrestler. These guys a little bit out there, I understand, but I think we all agree Shawn Michaels deserves a spotlight in the Classic Superstars line, and he got quite the spotlight. He got many of figures over the year, including variants. Oh, variants in Series 15. We got a variant action here, and there's old Shawn, and then there's old Shawn once again. So we got Shawn in his chaps and vest here, and we got one without, which is very peculiar here because really, let's be honest, I think 100% of the people would rather have this one. If you're buying for loose especially, why would you buy this one? You want this one because it has the extra accessories to it. This is just plain Jane. But I see what Jakks is doing a little bit, kind of like the Ultimate Warrior, showing the duster on the back, showing this tight, showing this outfit. giving us a little bit of that Hannah Montana best of both worlds is what it's doing right there. But very peculiar, very strange. Both go for around the same amount of price. I think this one is actually technically a little bit rarer than this one, but most people do want this one when it comes down to it. And we did get one very similar to this as a ringside exclusive back in the day, and we'll talk about that one on the channel very, very soon as well. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe for that. But let's read the back on one of these here. I'm going to put this Shawn off to the side. We're going to open this one up. Ah, you heard it right. We're going to open this one up. Hurts me, pains me, but there's old Shawn Michaels. Got the fancy sexy boy tights going on. Looking good. Glamour shot. Glamour shot of Shawn Michaels. And on the back, cross-sell, UPC's warning, Series 15, of course. The tail of the tape, the blurb. It's all there. Looking good there with Shawn. Shawn Michaels debuted 1965. Oh my gosh. Or maybe he was born in 1965. Not quite the debut, but I guess in some ways that is a debut performance when you're born. Weight 225 pounds, height 6'1". Finishing move, the good old sweet chin music. Titles, WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, 95 and 96 Royal Rumble winner, Intercontinental Champion, and of course World Tag Team Champion. Shawn, he gets around, as we know. Of course, I do have one loose one here, and it is this one over here I already have loose. Looking good with this vest and chaps. These things are really nice, but they are a pain to get off. You got to be careful. You can rip. It's got kind of, it's just very thin material. So you got to be careful on this. Very much like Series 14, Axe and Smash. You got to be careful. I'd recommend don't remove the outfit on him because it'll never go back on the same. That's part of the reason it's good to get two of these here because, hey, you get one without, one with, and you're off to the races for there. So there you go. But this Shawn, not a whole lot difference in the pack, as you can see. Just plain Jane, where this one, of course, has all the bells and whistles to it. But let's pull them out. Let's get down to it. Let's take a look at old Shawn underneath the old plastic prison. Maybe. There it is. There it is. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic prison time. There it is, looking good. And pull them out. No other accessories, nothing. See you later. Like I said, I think most people, if they're getting it, they're wanting this one over this one. But this one still does look really good. This is one of those figures that just feels great in your hand. This feels really good, really sturdy. And there's just something special about opening up a Jakks Ruthless Aggression figure. If you're one of the guys that just watches these videos, maybe buy a cheap Classic Superstars figure and unbox it, or any Jakks figure and unbox it, because maybe you've felt these, maybe you've had loose ones you've interacted with, but there's nothing like one of these straight out of the package. Just the stiffness of the joints, the fresh feeling, something special about that with these Ruthless Aggression era figures. And this Shawn is no different. Very, very cool. Of course, got the black pants throughout here with the hearts all over. Very Shawn Michaels, as you guys know. Got the hearts down the side of the boots, the black and silver. The painted on wrist tape, the gloved hand that's painted on as well. Got the patented Shawn Michaels tattoo, which, hey, guess what? Mattel releases this with the tattoo not even painted. So Jakks painted it way back in the day. So not everything is perfect. Not everything is rainbows in this day and age with collectors as well. Beautiful hair on Shawn Michaels all day long. You see this head sculpt, you know this is Shawn Michaels. Just an absolutely fabulous figure. And like I said, these figures are the exact same, just one with entrance gear, one without. Good to have both examples in my possession, as you guys are fully aware. I'm all about the Classic Superstars. Had to have all these. But an interesting one here in Series 15 in this video. Variants, the name of the game. A variant for every single one of these. Very interesting times. And we did truly get a lot of different variants over the Classic Superstars series. And we were trying to highlight them all as we go through these video series as well. But what are your thoughts here? Do you agree with me? 100% of the people are going to want this Shawn Michaels. If they're only having one, this is going to be the one to get. I don't know why it would be the other one, because you get more bang for your buck here. The other variants, I think we'd all agree, kind of a half dozen of this, half a dozen of that. It's nothing really too special, but it is something to take note of if you're out there. And maybe your collection. Maybe you say, wait, I don't know what accessory I have with mine. Maybe worth checking it out and seeing what's going on. But very, very good figures here. I love the Tank Abbott for personal reasons I explained. Zeus, very cool. Obviously, the Ultimate Edition is a little bit superior. We get that. And then Shawn Michaels, always cool in this kind of gear and stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Follow along on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and of course the Patreon, where you can get about 5 months ahead on Jakks Classic Superstars videos, if you are so inclined over there. And make sure you're following along on all the social medias and everything else I'm putting out there. So easy to find, as you guys know. So for Zeus, Tank Abbott, and Shawn Michaels, I'm Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.